So today we're going to be stringing the little Groovy Daisy. So you should have your string colors, your block, and grab a pair of scissors for this. Technically, you can do whichever color you want first. I normally just go for the white, the petals, but it is not going to be wrong if you do yellow first. So the first thing you do is you unravel your string, get the end, and I like to tie my knot in the air, wrap it around, and then kind of loop this through. And you get a little lasso, and you can choose any nail in the petal section. I'm left-handed, so I usually start on this side, but you can totally do anywhere. So you just kind of trap it. You don't need a super long tail. It's long enough to tie one more knot. So again, I kind of do it in the air and there's different ways you can do this. The goal is you just don't want it to come off your nail. But besides that, you can do it any way you want. I like to trim this little tail at the end or the beginning, whichever. Okay, so this is step one. Just make sure it is on and secure. Then from there, just gonna wrap it, holding it tight, and wrap around to outline your petal shapes. You can even do kind of the curve and a bunch at one time. And this sort of tells you where you're going to go. And I'll show you some other steps to make the border really pop, which again, a lot of this is optional. You literally are just coloring with string, and just like with coloring, you can shade it different ways. And that's why it's kind of fun. You get to choose kind of how you want to do it. There's no right or wrong way. So here we go. This is the border. Now, before we get farther in, you basically are doing the exact same steps with the white string as you will end up with the yellow string. So once you know how to do the white, you'll be fine for the center. From here, what I like to do is it's a total of 4 steps for your border. It just is how you make it super thick. And I just want to show you this before it gets covered up with the middle string because it's harder to see. But you can do this at the end, just like I was saying. So this is step 1. Wrap it around. Now I'm going to be crisscrossing. So I like to go side to side. You can still wrap it around if you want. I kind of do every now and then. And you're just wrapping diagonally all the way, all the way, all the way. Just like so. So this is number 2 of 4. We're just going around and around. And it's just getting thicker and thicker so the edges stand out. So technically it's not required. So I try and tell people, it's like, you know what? It's just for fun. It's just coloring. Okay, so now you've done 1 and 2. Then you're gonna keep going around a 3rd time, but crisscrossing the opposite direction. And for this one, it might actually do it automatically. So you are just going to be having this crisscross, and now it will look like an X in between each set of nails. You can tell just because it's one diagonal and another diagonal. And that is all you are doing. This is 3 of 4. And I use my other hand to sort of guide it and also to hold it in place. One thing I tell the kids too, they are just nails and wood. So if you notice as you're going that you've pulled too hard, maybe just trying to make sure this string is tight so it's not unraveling. Sometimes a nail will get kind of loopy, like a wiggly tooth. So you can just grab a hammer, or technically I've even used like the edge of my scissors before. Whatever works. And you just sort of tap, tap, tap it back in, and that's all. Because sometimes that does happen because it is just wooden nails. And as you can tell, it's not all the way in the wood. So I don't glue them either because you don't really need the glue. I haven't had problems yet. So we're just going and finishing. So now the last step for the borders, you can tell it's kind of just a really thick thing of white. I like to go number 4, the same as number 1. You're going to wrap around, but on the inside edge. You haven't guessed it already. And in this case, If your nails are lining up like mine, then you're probably just going backwards. We're just going bloop, bloop, bloop. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is all there is to it. So you can do all these steps at the very beginning, the very end. If you just want to do a thinner border and just that first little outline, that works too. What I usually end up doing is I'll do the basic outline in the beginning. And then at the end, I'll do just like, you know, this whole thing if I feel like it. So there is enough string for you to do the full outline and fill it in. So if you end up with some extra string, that's normal. I try and throw in a little extra because sometimes knots happen and it's just wonderful. Okay, so here we go. That is how you do the border. You can kind of see, oh yay, look how nice. From here, it's even easier. All you're gonna do is any direction, just like coloring, hold it tight. You can wrap it around and around. Just try and go around this, not through it. It's not the end of the world if you do, but just because they're both light colors, if you put the yellow on after, you might be able to see the white string underneath it. So if that's gonna bug you, make sure you go around and not through it to go to the other side. So normally what I do is I start going back and forth in the same direction. I guess that could have been the border too. It's all fine now. Okay, getting distracted here. So I'll go just side to side, and then after I've done side to side, then I'll switch directions slightly, the angle, and I'll do it back and forth this way. One tip for this is make sure you kind of go loosely around it and keep going around it rather than focusing on 1 or 2 petals for a super long time. Then you may end up with not enough string to make them look even. So I know I've done that before. Thankfully, you know, I have extra string here. But so I just kind of go lightly through it for a couple passes, and then I move on because I'm going to come back to it. We just want them to look somewhat even and not one super thick and one barely any string, because that would be sad. Worst case, if that happens without you noticing, you can unravel. That is not against the rules. You can unravel and do it a little bit more. Just do it a little different. Just make sure when you unravel it, you try and wind it back on this so it doesn't get tangled. See, or tangled on my thumb because I unraveled just that little blip. Okay. So we're just gonna keep going like this all the way around, and then just back and forth, back and forth. You can do the steps that you did on these borders. You can do that in between. It's basically a figure 8. So I'll show you what I mean. So from like this nail to this nail, this is the one pass, diagonal, diagonal, and back down. So it's just that, and it looks way thicker than this. So you can do that too. I usually throw these in at the end if there's like a random empty spot for some reason. And I'm like, oh, let's just do that. And it will solve it. So I am just gonna speed this up so you don't have to watch me do this and you can enjoy yours. And then I will see you at the end to show you how to finish it and tie it off. So once you've filled it all in and kind of pushed it down and made sure, if you have extra string, you can go ahead and cut it away. Or if you've used all your string, then you're good. Just make sure you save yourself enough to tie another knot. So again, just like the very, very, very beginning of tying a knot 2 times around, I did one of these nails. And look, I ended up on the same side. So Give yourself enough string. If you've used all your string, you will have to unwind it a little bit to make sure you can tie it off. And again, choose any nail you want. Hold it tight so it doesn't unravel all the wonderful work you've done. Pick a nail, trap it, just try and pull it tight without breaking the string. Yes, because I haven't done that before. Okay, we'll do one more, just like that. And then carefully trim it. Sharper scissors. Okay, and then you will have like this little tail. So if you don't want it randomly sticking up like that, you can go ahead and you can just use your fingers and try and tuck it in. You can use the edge of a scissors carefully so you don't cut the string. Or if you have, you know, another little like a crochet needle or anything like that, go ahead and use it. Next, what we're gonna do is the yellow. And like I said, it's exactly the same steps. Pick any nail, tie a knot. You can do an outline before or after, fill it in, tie another knot. So that's all we're gonna be doing. Only one tip if you are going to want to push down the white string kind of around your border right here. And this just helps the yellow string not fly off as much. I don't know if you noticed that happening to you with the white string at all. Like over here, it was happening to me because I was too lazy to stop and push it down. But if it does happen, just kind of give them a push down because you do have more space on the nails. Okay, so after you do that, go ahead and just repeat the same steps with your yellow. The yellow will go much faster than the white, obviously, because it is just a little bit. It's kind of fun doing the circles. Some people are really creative and just do like a geometric kind of hash pattern. What do you call it? Hashtag pattern. Just back and forth and then they stop. But usually I'll do kind of back and forth, and then I'll kind of go crazy to fill in any random gaps. But some people are wonderful and they're able to just kind of go back and forth and make it beautiful. But I'll start it off and then I'll get frustrated and I'll just like, now I'm going everywhere. Or it won't line up exactly and that'll bug me. So I'm like, no. We're just gonna go back and forth. See how I didn't even bother to outline it? Maybe I'll do it at the end. I will. But that's why I was trying to tell you, it's like, it doesn't really matter, honestly. It's just fun. It's just such a bright, happy color. Love it. Very springtime, summery daisies. I keep going back and forth. So for like this one, this little circle in the center. And so what you can kind of do, it might take a few times, kind of go across and just drag it across and see what nail you can line it up to, and then drag it back and forth. And then you get different angles to cover the gap. Okay, and we're getting pretty close. Let's see. Maybe I'll just do one little border instead of the full. Just gonna rotate it until you run out of string. Perfect. Okay, and look, I have just enough for me to tie it right where I stopped. That worked out beautifully. Okay, so trap it, pull, tie another one. Same thing, we're gonna just kind of trim off our tail. Tuck it in, and I messed with my other one as I was going around. So, oh, maybe not. No, it is here. So I'm just gonna tuck that in again. My yellow string messed with it. Ta-da! And there you have an adorable little daisy.